My wife told me to shut my mouth in front of a bunch of people at a kid's birthday party. Original post. My wife and I are at odds lately over her sister-in-law, who is also her best friend, married to her brother. Long story short, she bends over backwards to accommodate their every ask, including babysitting, errands, etc. This extends to volunteering me to help them without my knowledge or consent, etc. She never sees my point of view or agrees with any criticism of them I have. We were at my nephew's birthday party today. My sister-in-law is the one who's hosting it, so my wife is super keen for things to go well. Things were going okay. My daughter 3 was a bit upset because her balloon animal had accidentally been popped, so she's standing with my wife getting a cuddle. And a boy older than her, about 5 or 6, sprints into her and knocks her over. She's crying obviously, and I picked her up. My wife is making a joke of it, saying, "Oh, she needs to watch where she's going." I said back to her, "Don't blame her for getting bowled over by the bigger boy." Now, apparently the mother of this other kid was in earshot, which prompted my wife to tell me, in front of one of her other best friends and a couple of other guests, to shut my mouth. Then she had a cheek to tell me to not have a moody face. 15 minutes before this post, I sent an email to a divorce lawyer for a consultation. I finally reached my limit. Now for the top advice before reading the updates. A lot of anxious people pleasers are like this. Once they feel secure in a relationship with you, they stop trying to please you and use you as a tool to please others. Generally, it's because they fear they and their loved ones will be reviled if they don't act like doormats. She is categorizing you and your baby in her head as part of her in a way, and that makes you and the baby subject to all her irrational fears of rejection and ostracism. The displeasure of others are terrifying, but you are not an other. I think I do this on a lesser scale. I'm a bit conscious about it, but I need to stop. You have self-awareness though. You're leagues ahead of Opie's wife. My mom used to volunteer me for things without asking me first. She finally stopped when I did the same thing to her a couple times. I had the same thing happen. I used to volunteer to help with lunch at an elderly home for school cred. The person I helped is part of the music assembly my whole family's part of, and at the same time I wasn't in a fanfare, just percussion. It was just helping from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Sundays, so I didn't mind much. It was really fun actually. What annoyed me, however, is when my mother said I would be there on Sunday during Saturday rehearsal, and I only hear either when she woke me up on Sunday morning to go or Saturday evening. She stopped after I refused to go a few times in a row, because I made arrangements beforehand on Sundays when I wasn't volunteering, and forcing my mother to apologize for volunteering me when she knew I wasn't available. Gotta do what's best for your daughter. Good luck, man. This treatment will never stop until you put your foot down. Unfortunately, that's not necessarily true. A good divorce attorney helps though. Now for the first update. Firstly, I'd just like to thank everyone for your responses, supportive or otherwise. Being heard and listened to is such a mental boost. I spoke to my solicitor first thing this morning, and we had a good talk. He knows I am angry and upset at the situation, and he says that he will get myself and my wife in for a consultation if we decided to go down that route. The issue in Scotland is that for divorce where only one party wants out, it can take upwards of a year to get it, and evidence of separation in that period, unless both parties agree to unreasonable behavior as the reason for the courts granting the divorce. So long story short, I can't proceed without her buy-in if I want it resolved fast. So I took my daughter to my mom's after this, and then sat my wife down. I told her that yesterday's situation was absolutely unacceptable, and that if I had told her to shut her mouth in front of my friends, that I'd be getting crucified from everyone we know. I told her she was lucky I kept my mouth shut at a party, and that I didn't care about how sister-in-law would have taken it. We fought again about sister-in-law, and again she defended her actions, saying that I'm the selfish one who won't help out my family when they need it. I then did a perhaps petty move of dropping divorce leaflets I'd printed from my solicitor's website in front of her. I said to her, I absolutely want to help my family, and this is how I do it. I told her about how I was tired of playing third wheel in my own marriage, and I told her that I was not prepared to subject my daughter to a lifetime of this subservience. Finally, it looks like what I've said has had an impact. She cried, and I think she was close to having a panic attack. This made me feel guilty because fundamentally, I don't think she's a bad person. She's just brainwashed into thinking sister-in-law is the second coming of the Messiah. So she promised that when I've finished work today, we can have a serious talk about things, and she will listen to my concerns. Right now, I'm not buying it, but I owe her and my daughter at least a chance to sort things out, so I'll see where it goes. To answer some questions folks had, I know this seemed like an overreaction to something, but you've got to understand this was the latest in a long line of sister-in-law related issues. Some folks have asked if my wife is gay and in love. I've thought about this as a possibility. I didn't ask her yet, but I may tonight. It certainly seems logical given how passionate she gets about it. Thanks everyone for reading, and especially all of you who have DM'd me. I appreciate more than you know. Second update. Hi again everyone. Thanks for all of your continued support and advice. I wanted to put another update on to let you know what was happening. So, we sat down last night for the crunch talks. I have to give her credit where it's due. She apologized for what she said at a party, and she said that she'd also have considered divorce if I'd done the same to her. I reiterated to her that my issue is that she completely makes herself subservient to sister-in-law at our expense. I pointed out how messed up it was, that she didn't immediately take our daughter's side in this incident. The collision was accidental, I think, but I told her that to blame the little one was out of line, which she accepted. I then asked her outright if she had any sort of romantic feelings for sister-in-law. She squirmed and looked a little uncomfortable. She said that a long time ago, at the end of high school, there had been a drunken kiss on a night out, but nothing beyond that. She sort of played the angle that she didn't want anyone, especially her brother, to know about it, and that's why she bends over backwards to make sure sister-in-law is happy. I asked her if sister-in-law had ever threatened to reveal this incident, but she denies that it's even been brought up. She just thinks that if the wider family knew, it would bring up a lot of weirdness. She swears that she has no interest in having any kind of relationship with sister-in-law, and that she's straight. I told her I didn't care about what she did that long ago, but that it needed to stop impacting our relationship in the present, because I am the thinnest of thin hairs away from walking away forever. She surprisingly apologized again, and said that she'd really try to work on it. I told her that I needed to see some proof of that, so she can consider herself on probation. I told her that if I feel that it's happened again, I'll be taking our daughter to stay at my mom's. She accepted this, so we're proceeding cautiously. Sorry if this isn't the update you were all hoping for, but I think it's the best thing for the three of us right now. Third update 8 months later. I've posted here many times about issues I've had with my wife, most commonly with regards to her subservience to her best friend turned sister-in-law. She's promised to try and work on this, given how much it has impacted our marriage. But today, I think we passed the point of no return. You see, today is my birthday, though it's now past midnight. This morning, my daughter, who is nearly 4, gave me huge hugs and kisses, which was great. My wife gave me a card and told me that my gift hadn't arrived in the post yet. My suspicion is that she's yet to order it, or ordered it late, whatever it may be. I then logged into my work and did my shift like any other day. My wife was off work, while my daughter was at my mom's for a visit. Nothing special was planned for the evening, because there were plans in place already. Just that, those plans didn't include me. Sister-in-law and a couple of my wife's other friends had arranged to go out for dinner and drinks, because a voucher sister-in-law had for a particular restaurant expired soon, and my birthday was the only date they could all make. Awful, right? Gets better though, because my wife made a big social media post wishing me a happy birthday, saying how crap it was that I had to work all night on my birthday, which is a complete lie. But it does make her look less bad in public for not spending my birthday with me. The issue is, because she's done this, I now couldn't make plans with friends or family without exposing her lie. So, yeah, great birthday. When I think about how she'd react if I had pulled half the nonsense she has pulled, I can't see it ending any other way than me getting screamed at, even though she's chosen to spend my birthday with sister-in-law instead of me. On the plus side, I did some Warhammer painting after I collected my daughter and played with her a bit before bed. She also asked why mommy wasn't here, which kind of crushed me. Am I wrong to be annoyed about this? Wow, on the social media post. When she sees you, she sees a doormat, so that's why she's walking all over you. You deserve to be treated better. You should have totally called her out on her bluff. It would be fair. Happy birthday, my friend. Why the heck did you cover for her? Go out with your buddies. Have fun. Don't roll over and ask her to pummel you some more. When she's treating you like an afterthought, why do you feel you have to be loyal and sacrifice your own fun for her? Agreed, he is far nicer than I am. I am so next level petty. I would have replied to the post exposing her BS, or at least messaged my family about it. Wish Opie took his daughter out and had a nice meal together. Sounds like his daughter took after her dad, and is so sweet. I've commented on your post in the past. Sounds like her changes didn't last long. You're not a priority in her life. Time to take your self-respect back. Like I've said in your past post, this type of situation warrants an ultimatum, but even then, I think you know what it's time to do. My advice, get your affairs in order before you drop the divorce, as I'm sure she will go scorched earth on you based on the knowledge of that FB post, making herself look good. Stop being the nice guy. All she cares about is her image. Opie won't stop being the nice guy. She knows this and will continue to walk over him time and again. Anytime Opie will try to stand up for himself, she'll show remorse and everything will be back to normal. Considering how she's good at covering up for herself and planning everything, I won't be shocked if Opie is already painted as a bad guy in front of her friends, while Opie keeps on playing the nice guy. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if cheating is involved, and a sister-in-law/friend is the cover. I've seen this scenario played before. I do agree with you, but that was the conclusion I deliberately left out, as what's going on is bad enough to rethink about the marriage. True. Either way, I can't help but shake my head. I don't get why people put up with disrespectful partners. Now for the last update. Hi again, everyone. I just wanted to say, firstly, thank you very much for all of your responses and private messages. Many of you were supportive, and many of you, rightfully upon reflection, told me that I needed to grow some backbone and sort my things out. I've been sitting on this for a few days, because the full events of what has transpired since then have blown my mind, and have brought home some very harsh truths about my relationship. But I also wanted to see if what went down would actually stick, and so far, it has. The fun question out of the way first. For those who were asking about my painting, I was painting some Thousand Suns Terminators. So starting the day after my birthday, my wife initiated intimacy. And let me tell you, this was an occasion in itself. I legitimately could not tell you the last time that this happened. It's been that long. I'm thinking to myself, maybe she's feeling guilty about yesterday and she's trying to make it up. But after the deed was done, she turns around to me and says, "Your present won't be here for another couple of days. That will have to do for now." I'm pretty disappointed at this point, not because I had a huge desire for a particular gift, but because she felt that her behavior the day before was fine. And then for her to think I'll use intimacy to cover up my screw-up was also a bit of a blow. Whatever, I've sucked up worse before and powered through. What broke me was her opinion on sister-in-law's birthday. Long story short, for those who don't know, sister-in-law is possibly my least favorite person on the planet due to her parasitic behavior and main character syndrome. Coincidentally, her birthday is a couple of weeks after mine. My wife told me all about her birthday plans for her. She wanted to get her a gift for her favorite massage therapist. What was the big deal? The shop only sells paper vouchers, and it's a 3-hour round trip to the shop. So off she went, again leaving me with my daughter, and what commenced next can only be described as 3 hours of my brain simmering slowly towards an explosion. I took my daughter to my brother's house because I knew that when my wife came back, I was going to explode. When she came back, I was sitting in the living room with a bag packed for me, and in an admittedly petty move, one packed for my daughter. This immediately got her attention, and she demanded to know what was going on. I unloaded it all. It wasn't incoherent, and I definitely got more emotional as I unloaded more grievances. I started by telling her it was unacceptable how she completely screwed up my birthday while making sister-in-law's birthday a major priority. How I was sick of feeling like a third wheel in my own marriage. How I had literally sacrificed my personality on the altar of keeping her happy. How I never saw my friends anymore, yet she could do whatever she wanted. How I take care of the house despite working more hours than her, for not even a shred of gratitude. How she used our lack of intimacy as a tool of manipulation and control. I cried and shouted. She did the same, but vehemently denied all of my accusations. She then demanded to know where our girl was, and I told her. I told her that she would not be using her as a bargaining chip against me. We eventually calmed down enough to agree that I would keep her at our house while she temporarily stayed with her mom and dad. I agreed to drop her off for visits while we worked things out. It's been a few emotionally exhausting days. I feel drained, spent, and tired. But I have my little girl, and I feel like I have done what I could. I don't know what my relationship status is right now. We haven't been speaking, except to arrange drop-offs, and I'm comfortable with that for now. I need some more time before I consider more permanent steps. I've never ever unloaded on her like this before, but Jesus Christ, it felt good, even if she continued to deny everything. God, poor Opie. The wife would definitely build an art room for the sister-in-law if she had a chance, but right now, they both just seem okay with semi-indentured servitude. I wonder once the divorce is finalized, if the wife will make a play for sister-in-law and ruin her relationship with her brother as well. Yeah, he totally just glossed over his wife getting romantic with her best friend, and the feelings she is obviously still holding in. It's weird to me how Opie jumped to she's afraid of sister-in-law exposing their past kiss, and skipped right over she's in love with sister-in-law. I'd be shocked if the wife doesn't actually have feelings for the sister-in-law. Her actions are overkill for a drunken kiss years ago. I feel so bad for Opie and the daughter. Total overkill. Nobody is this desperate to keep a once-off drunk snog secret. Opie's wife and sister-in-law's relationship is very similar to my sister and her BFF's relationship, where my sister is the sister-in-law. Her BFF will literally drop whatever she's doing to cater to my sister's every need. My sister is very charismatic and manipulative, and can easily drop anybody in her life without thinking twice. And after her BFF disagreed with her on a couple of small occasions, my sister dropped her. Her BFF comes crying to me, and after a few months, they're friends again. But this time, her BFF never disagrees with her and will do anything, like drive across country by herself for her. Manipulative people love to surround themselves with people that are easily manipulated. This will be a situation where Opie will find himself being happier as a single parent, and his daughter will likely be happier spending time with him. She won't be splitting attention with her aunt like she will while spending time with her mother. Or blamed for other kids ramming into her. Poor little girl.